All right, guys, this video serves as a guide for guys in their 20s, just like myself, okay? So specifically what I'm going to be talking about is exactly how to pan this 20s out in a sort of very structured way that gives you a high chance of getting successful in whatever domain you pick, okay? So we're going to basically run through the playbook, the things to avoid, and then what to build, because what to build essentially sets you up in the future, okay? A lot of people don't realize this sort of stuff until they're in their 30s. And the reality is, I think it's important to realize this sooner because of the world we're living in and the fact that it's getting harder and harder to make it / get ahead and put yourself in a good situation if you're an ambitious person like myself, especially if you're a guy like me. Let me just remove this trading thing. That's my trading YouTube channel. There we go. All right. So right off the bat, the playbook. So this is it. After all my time of refining information, I'm pretty much just settled on this information. Of course, there's lenience in terms of you can do other things outside of this, but this should be a basic key structure that is very obvious, but I think it needs to be reiterated because a lot of people in their 20s don't do it. They ignore it. And we'll talk about the ramifications if you do ignore this sort of stuff, okay? So if we jump into the playbook, and yes, I have AI'd this. These are my thoughts too that are compiled and used AI to basically make it more structured in a format like this, okay? So the first thing I think that's important that you should be working on specifically is building a strong biological base, okay? Simple as that. So everything sits on the top of your physical state. You need to be healthy. You need to be getting sleep. You need to be exercising. You need to be getting sun. You need to be doing all the things that are going to make you have vitality, okay? This applies to things that drain your energy. This applies to people. This applies to everything scope, okay? But we'll get into that in a second. So yeah, consistent sleep, training, whole food nutrition, time outdoors. Your brain motivation, mood, discipline, and creativity depend on this layup. So without it, forget it. So if you're out drinking every week, you're out smoking, doing drugs, sleeping late, talking to losers, then good luck. Watch your time slip away. I'm 22. And I can just see from 18 to 22, like that. Time just went so fast. If you don't build during that time, forget it. Like literally forget being successful. Yes, you can come back later on in life, but it's much harder because of the law of compounding, okay? You have to listen to me. Well, not me, but you have to listen to the truth. This is just the truth. Now, the second thing you need to do is skill stacks that compound, okay? Yes, we have AI that's coming, but it's not going to take every single industry. There are industries that are going to be safe. And let me just show you specifically what that is, okay? So with AI, this is the current scope of what AI is looking like. It might take a lot of management, business, finance, computer maths, architecture, life, social sciences, legal, arts. This is the potential. So the blue scope is the potential of things it could take. The red scope is the observable AI coverage. So as you can see, the layers are already formatting precisely to what we've got here, which means it's just a matter of adoption before it gets there, okay? It's probably not going to scope out that far, but it's a notion of an adoption curve that's going to take place and it's going to expand further. Industries that are safe, transportation, production, trades, agriculture, sales. Sales is probably still a good skill to have for sure. Personal care, grounds maintenance, food serving, protective services, healthcare, health support, okay? Now, I think there will still be people working in these fields, but they'll be much more competitive. And yeah, so get ready for it. Hard world we're living in, and that's the name of the game. Now, back to where I was before. Back to the life path. Here we go. So the 20s playbook. Specifically, pick skills. Communication is very important. Sales and persuasion. Writing for your thoughts. Technology and learning AI tools. Financial literacy, okay? If you don't have these, forget it. In this modern day and age, you're not going to be successful. It's going to be very, very difficult. Take it from someone who's working at this every single day. Okay, it's a very fine line between how much you can be, like what you can be focusing on and wasting time. You have to be focused, otherwise you will not be able to compound because the compounding requires you to have capital. It requires you to get the networks, the connections, all these different things. And if you're not ready and you're not pushing forward, guys like myself pushing hard every single day, all right? And it comes back to bite because that's how reality works. It comes back to bite you later on if you don't take action now. I'm not saying you have to be a freak trying to push hard every single day, but it's important to start now. Run many experiments. So this could be different jobs, side projects, creative work, businesses, living new places, meeting new kinds of people. So that's why I went to Dubai a few weeks ago. Meeting new people, doing work there, getting paid. Even though I'm back in Australia now because obviously the war over there. But met new networks, opened that door up, met new people, getting more income via that. Can go into that later. That's my other YouTube channel listed down below. That's related to crypto. That's also how I compound my money. So the mistake people make is locking into one identity too early. You need to be locking into something that enables you to grow, enables you to be challenged, enables you to have network and social mobility. The next one I would say is avoid major life destroyers. So addictions, bad long-term relationships, crime, legal issues, chronic debt. That's a big one. Don't go buying silly cars that no one cares about because no one's looking. Destroying reputation. Don't do things that are going to destroy reputation. You just need to basically avoid doing these things, okay? Because if you avoid them, there's a high chance you'll be good, because this is basically inversion. If you avoid this, you're just inverting the things that are going to take you out of the game, because the longer you're in the game, the more chance you're going to succeed in the game. Build a direction. So life doesn't move like this. It moves oftentimes like this, or it can have the opposite effect. It's because it compounds. Instead of asking what path should I take, ask what direction increases my opportunities and capabilities. So that's up to you for you to decide as a person, because your specific industry and interests are going to be way different than mine. But you need to pick something that's going to increase optionality in skills, health, network, and creating things, building things. Meaning anchors. This is a very important one. You need to find some sort of meaning. Otherwise, life is kind of pointless. So whether that's faith, family, service, mastery, or building something that's greater than yourself. This is what gives you the purpose, the motivation, the drive to get there. So really, all that matters is trajectory, not certainty. By the time you're 30, you'll have good health, valuable skills. You should have a lot of savings. You should have good character, meaningful relationships. That is what I consider winning. Okay? So that's very, very important. Now back to the little spot here. Things to avoid, like drastically you need to avoid these. Instead of optimizing for comfort, optimize for growth. Okay? Don't be doing social media, scrolling, unless you're going to be using it for productive things like I'm doing right now. Whether it's this, whether it's trading, whether it's documenting your fitness journey, whether it's whatever it is that connects you with more people and productive people and people who are positive. Okay. If you're about negativity and nihilism, go for it. Go on those subreddit forums and be that guy. Credit to you, not me. Anyway, gaming every night, waste of time. Avoiding difficult skill building. Just get lock in, seriously. Staying in environments that don't challenge you. That's another one. People get complacent, they get stuck, and yeah, they just don't grow. Now, this is only applying to people who are wanting to push themselves. If you don't want to, then it doesn't matter. But if you want to and you're in your 20s, this is very, very, very good playbook. Yeah. So your 20s are basically the highest skill window you can take because of the fact that there's asymmetry here. So if you look at the curve of opportunity, this is the time period where you're meant to be taking risk and trying new things. Because if you don't, it gets significantly harder by the time you're 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, dead. Anyway, attaching identity to the wrong path too early. I am this career, I must stay in this path. Changing direction means failure. Okay? Get ready to pivot, get ready to explore, try 5 to 10 different paths. Seriously, just try a bunch of different things. Wrong relationships, we know that one. Just have discernment about yourself. Destroying physical health early, sleep patterns, all that. Get that down packed. It's important. These are basics. Even I find myself avoiding them sometimes, but they're the basics. You need to follow them. This one is very important. This is a psychological one, so to reduce your anxiety. No one truly has it figured out. The ones that maybe do are probably in much better situations from family and all these different types of things. So don't worry about that. Just focus on your situation. And the hidden rule is this. Just do this. You'll be good if you can do that. I think your 20s will be good. Anyway, let's dive down to what to build. If you can build these, you'll be very, very good. So, personal media plus audience, okay? So what do I mean by that? Pick your niche of interest, make content in it, whatever it is, scale that content, meet people in the industry, make products in that field, whatever it is. Some industries you can't, but a lot of industries you can. I've even seen health professionals make a side business in health. where they have a channel, where they connect with other professionals, where they teach things and sell information and sell trust. Okay. The information's already out there. It's been out there for years anyway about health, for example. But you're selling trust, you're selling authority. That's built over time, that's built over compounding. Rare skill stack. Okay. Whatever that is, media combined with technology, combined with whatever. Network capital. That is the people you know, the people you can go on your phone and say, hey, mate, what's happening? Can I have a job? Can I have this? Can I have that? What can I build for you? Etc. Ownership and equity. What do you own? Do you own land? Do you own a productive asset? Do you own a business? Do you own anything that is productive in its nature? Okay, you go buy some depreciating asset that's not productive. Equity in stocks, equity, whatever it is. Right now, my entire strategy is different towards owning a business. I don't own a business. Well, I sort of do. I sort of like an online business that pays me. It's solid. But it's not tangible business. It's online. Okay. Do I want to get tangible business? Yes, I do in the future. But for now, I'm doing what I feel is the most asymmetric bet. The same goes with my money and how I use my money to compound it over time. So, equity and assets. For our age, specifically 20s, very hard to buy a house. Honestly, it's also dead capital. You got to be working that capital in something. Okay. Think about reinvestment into something that's going to compound with time. That's up to you to figure out. Reputation and authority. This is why it's better to start young, because if you start young, you get this curve essentially, which is the exponentiality curve, which looks like this. So exponential curve, it goes like that. What it basically means is it's very, very difficult to start, but it gets way easier in the end. So by 10 years, you're already in a much better situation than what you were right at the start, okay? By like 20 million fold specifically, because that's just how it works. So the strongest feedback loops are this: knowledge, media, network, audience, ownership, wealth, more influence, larger. It just feeds itself. This is why the rich get richer. That whole saying feeds into itself. Okay. So that's the playbook, guys. It's very, very simple. Now follow it. Peace out. Bye bye.